Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rahah Nadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching His truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up with the plays of Yahweh Shema Shah, and delivering it to the whole world. Anyway, I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever God say through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Dash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it. That's enough. Yeah, but they're just showing you these volcanoes getting more active, and there's gonna be more earthquakes. And speaking of earthquakes, let's get to
it. Wait, this is gold.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Stand your goddamn ass. And this was August the 1st. Yeah, I thought it was like yesterday or something. Anyway, that shit old. But that was like last week. I don't know why they posted something that's like a day ago that was last week. But whatever. But let's get to something more current. Colombia got an earthquake today. Hey, another one for you Israelites. Shit, another one for you Northern Kingdom.
Está temblando fuerte. Mire.
But they all come like, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos, and shit. That's one of the reasons why the Lord got there shaking y'all ass up, because of that nigga. You keep y'all hooked and drunk on that nigga.
Son las 7:36 de la mañana, 10 de agosto del 2026, acá en Cali, Avenida Roosevelt con 43.
That was a temple. Hey, get that thing to be breathing your hot breath on my dang on jerky.
Ya, ese edificio quedó súper tarjado.
Ya están atendiendo como unos heridos. Let's go to the next one.
Have you ever wondered how warriors prepare for epic voyages?
The South American nation of Colombia was rocked by a powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake, killing at least 69 people and causing widespread damages across several cities. The visuals show the power of the earthquake. Debris was seen falling from an emergency services building during an earthquake in the Colombian city of Cali.
Son las 7:36 de la mañana del 2026.
At least 20 structures have collapsed in Cali, leading to emergency teams assessing the extent of the damage. Cali Mayor Alejandro Edar has requested rescue teams from Bogota and Medellin to support emergency operations.
At the moment, we have at least 20 collapsed structures in Cali with people trapped. I have requested support from the Mayor of Bogota and the Mayor of Medellin with rescue workers. Additionally, we are at the forefront of this emergency with all of Cali's relief agencies. I ask citizens to remain calm. Also check if your buildings have apparent structural damage. If you don't feel safe, if you see very large cracks, please exit the building.
Por favor, se hacen afuera de la edificación.
Somewhat similar horrific visuals were captured in Manizales,
Show you the Lord ain't dwelling no temple built by hands.
which showed a side tower of the city's iconic
I think that's a church.
cathedral collapsing,
Yeah, it's a cathedral. Catholic cathedral, but shit, the Lord ain't dwelling in that shit.
debris falling onto nearby streets. The earthquake has prompted evacuations in several cities as authorities urge residents to stay away from buildings showing structural damage. The 7.4 magnitude quake struck at around 7:34 a.m. local time, the epicenter near San Jose del Palmar in Choco province. The Colombian Geological Service put the depth at around 96 kilometers, while other authorities reported a depth of 79 kilometers or more. The earthquake was strongly felt in Colombia's major cities, including Cali, Pereira, Manizales, and Quibdó, and also was felt across the border in Ecuador and Venezuela. A 4-story building crumpled to the ground in the western Colombian city of Pereira. Several people were killed, and the death toll continues to rise as many remain trapped underneath the rubble of collapsed buildings. Authorities also reported injuries and structural damage across the affected region. 6 airports were damaged in the earthquake. Colombian Civil Aviation Authority reported that all flights at these 6 airports have been suspended due to the damages. The quake is reportedly the strongest to hit Colombia in the last decade, triggering a large-scale emergency response. Authorities are also warning people to remain alert for possible aftershocks. Colombian Interior Minister Rodrigo Lara said that the national government was coordinating emergency response efforts following the earthquake. Speaking from the headquarters of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management in Bogota, Lara said authorities were in contact with governors and mayors in the hardest hit areas.
The national government, led by the Ministers of Housing and Interior and the Acting Director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, is directly overseeing the situation caused by the earthquake that occurred in San Jose del Palmar from the agency's headquarters.
You know there's gonna be more footage, probably later on today or either tomorrow. They just showing you what's happening after the quake, but what was going on during the quake, yeah. Well, some they've been showing some footage of what was going on when the quake was more active, but they should show more footage of when the quake was active. Just right now, they ain't showing enough. Say, what is it, 69 people died. This one says 77. This next one, I'm gonna go ahead and get to play this next one. It's talking about 100 people killed.
Hey, guess what happened?
You sound excited. Tell me.
What the fuck is this shit? Yeah, they got shit like this. Is a hologram in Japan. These lonely ass niggas got hologramic AI bitches. What are the bitches called? The AI anime bitches.
Hey, Lilia.
He looked down. What?
Breaking news on a deadly earthquake. Colombia declares a national emergency after a powerful earthquake in western Colombia today killed at least 111 people. Now, the death toll is only expected to rise as crews search for people who could be buried underneath that rubble. A magnitude 7.4 quake shook the South American country and neighboring Ecuador. Now, social media footage captured the moment one of the buildings collapsed. Residents in the city of Pereira ran from the cloud of dust as that structure fell to the ground. Now, as a reminder, this earthquake follows June's back-to-back earthquakes in neighboring Venezuela that killed more than 5,000 people. I'm going to go live now to CBS News immigration correspondent.
It's funny that now they don't even talk about the death. Yeah, man, I remember they was talking about death count to was it hundreds? They downplaying the hell out of it, but now it's 5,000. Shit, after a month going by, now they say it's 5,000.
Montoya Galvez, Camilo, great to be with you. We just saw some of the devastation there. What can you tell us about the extent of the damage so far?
I'll figure more than that.
Well, according to the country's president, the devastating earthquake in Colombia has killed now more than 100 people, 111 residents of Colombia so far, to be exact. 87 people have also been injured by the quake. But as you underscored, Liz, the numbers of people who have died and the people who have been injured by the quake are almost certainly going to continue rising in the coming hours. According to authorities in Colombia, dozens of buildings throughout the country had partially collapsed or completely collapsed because of the earthquake. The airports in the cities of Pereira, Manizales, Armenia, Cartago, and Buenaventura are no longer operational after the earthquake, so even air travel has been affected greatly by the natural disaster there in Colombia. The epicenter, Liz, was in a community in the region of Chocó on the Pacific coast called San José del Palmar, but the impact of the quake was even broader, affecting a larger portion of Colombia, including what is known in Spanish as El Eje Cafetero, or the coffee growing region in central Colombia, cities like Manizales and Pereira, but also Cali in the southwest, where I was actually born. And it was even felt in neighboring Ecuador, as you underscored. And authorities say that officials and residents alike in communities throughout the country are still looking for signs of life, looking for survivors in the rubble. And the quake has greatly diminished and hindered communications in Colombia. I've seen that firsthand. My mother was actually on the phone with my father, who traveled to Cali just last week when the quake struck early this morning, and was able to talk to him briefly right after the fact, right after the earthquake, but I have not been able to reach him just yet. I've been calling him nonstop all day, and so communications have been hindered by the earthquake. Many here in the U.S. and around the world are calling their loved ones to make sure they're okay, and it has been a significant challenge, of course, Liz. So for now, we expect the numbers to rise, and it is truly a devastating situation there in Colombia.
These are the judgments of Yahweh Shema Shah for you Israelites. I forgot what tribe, Colombians, but either way, I mean, there's judgment from the Lord kicking your ass. Stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, and worship Jesus Christos, and repent to Yahweh Shema Shah, nigga, before it's too late. Let's get to some more videos, and let's get some more. I'm gonna get to scriptures last, but I'm just gonna get to these videos out the way and save the best for last.
Black Witch.
Ada skema.
Mabagyo man o tawag nun. Low pressure lang. Medyo ganun talaga na may baha talaga dito kasi gawa nung sa malapit lang po kami ng San Mateo River at saka mababa kami ng Marikina River. Dito lahat po bagsak ang tubig sa aming area. Sobra pong laki ng epekto, lalo na itong tindahan ko na maliit, sari-sari store, kahit pa paano may kita ako. Medyo ngayon, ilang araw na po, 3 days, magti 3 days na wala. Niligpit ko mga paninda ko, gawa nung inaanod man kagabi, was out po yung tindahan ko dyan. Lahat ng mga upuan ko, lamesa na papagkainan ng may kumakain, naanod po.
Ada skema.
I think they just keep repeating the same footage over and over again. Well, that's going on. What's this? Oh. Alright, let me just continue on because I want to keep playing now. There's another earthquake video. It says record High temperatures in July. I guess I'll play that too. Add that into the list. Add that to the list. See what else we got. What we got here?
1 million people forced from their homes, a truck flipped by the wind, more than 1,000 flights cancelled. Typhoon Dolphin has slammed into China with winds topping 150 kilometers per hour. Streets are flooding, trees are being ripped from the ground, and a 9-year-old boy is missing. And even as Dolphin weakens, the flood threat is far from over. Typhoon Dolphin has slammed into eastern China, forcing more than 1 million people to evacuate as torrential rain, powerful winds, and flooding batter the country's densely populated coast. The storm made landfall near Yuhuan in Zhejiang province at around 5:30 p.m. local time on August 9th, packing maximum sustained winds of 151 kilometers per hour. The typhoon formed near the Marshall Islands last month and traveled an unusually long distance across the Pacific before reaching East Asia. China issued its highest level red typhoon alert as Dolphin became the most powerful tropical cyclone to hit the country this year. In Shanghai, the storm's winds were strong enough to flip umbrellas and flood streets, while the Shanghai Tower, the world's third tallest building, relied on its massive tuned mass damper to stabilize the structure.
Last night, it was almost a full night. And then I woke up this morning to find that the neighborhood was full of accumulated water, and then the road area was also quite flooded. Now we are seeing this state of affairs. I've lived in Shanghai for 10 years, and the first time since then I've experienced this kind of inconvenience caused by the typhoon and the accumulation of so much water. This is also the first time I've experienced this situation.
Since Shanghai and Nanjing are close to Zhejiang, and the typhoon lights are also near Zhejiang, I think Suzhou should still be slightly affected. But overall, it probably won't have much impact on the itinerary.
The storm triggered mass evacuations and widespread disruption, with more than 1,000 flights cancelled in Shanghai, as authorities warned that heavy rain would continue across eastern China through the week. Footage from Sunday showed streets being battered by rain and wind, while residents struggled to hold onto umbrellas as powerful gusts swept through the region.
Hey, did you know you could create an entire animated series with just...
In Wenzhou, eyewitness video showed a truck being flipped onto its side by the extreme weather. CCTV footage also showed rescuers clearing fallen trees, evacuating residents using lifeboats and stretchers, and responding to flooding and other hazards. Typhoon Dolphin's winds were particularly destructive in Yueqing City, where gusts reached up to level 15, or between 46.2 and 50.9 meters per second. More than 900 trees were damaged or uprooted in the city, blocking roads and forcing forestry workers and firefighters to work overnight to clear debris. Firefighters also carried out resident evacuations and removed dangerous objects from buildings, responding to more than 200 such hazards since the storm struck. Although Dolphin weakened to a tropical storm after landfall, China's weather authorities said it continued to bring torrential rain and strong winds to eastern regions. The storm's wider impact has included major flooding in Shanghai and several other provinces, with coastal areas facing continued risks of flash floods and landslides. In Shitang, a coastal town in Zhejiang, rescuers have also been searching for a 9-year-old boy who was swept away by a large wave on Friday. China's National Meteorological Center chief forecaster Wang Haiping told state broadcaster CCTV that Typhoon Dolphin would track westward after landfall before slowing over central and southwestern China and gradually weakening. The storm had already caused major disruption in Japan. Before reaching China, Dolphin battered Okinawa, injuring 6 people and cutting power to more than 50,000 buildings. As Typhoon Dolphin moves inland and weakens, authorities across eastern China remain on alert for continued heavy rainfall, flooding, landslides, and further disruption. Typhoon Dolphin is bearing down on eastern China, prompting the highest level storm alert as authorities shut ports, suspend ferry services, and
extreme weather hitting parts of East Asia hard. China is bracing for torrential rains of up to 500 milliliters in parts of Zhejiang after Typhoon Dolphin lashed the province late yesterday. Heavy downpours are also expected in neighboring areas such as Shanghai, northern Fujian, Jiangxi, and much of Jiangsu. Residents are cautioned against the severe risk of mountain torrents and landslides. Now, the storm has forced evacuations of more than 1 million residents and caused widespread travel disruptions. Shanghai's 2 main airports cancelled around 1,300 flights on Sunday, and more than 900 flights were additionally grounded today. Meanwhile, Hong Kong is sweltering in the aftermath of Typhoon Dolphin. The weather system is bringing blistering heat as it moves towards the Chinese mainland. Temperatures reached a record-breaking 36.9 degrees Celsius at the observatory headquarters yesterday. Some districts in the territory are expected to reach 37 degrees Celsius or higher over the next 2 days. Authorities are urging residents to avoid vigorous outdoor activity and remain hydrated. Meteorologists say temperatures are likely to remain elevated until the middle of the week. For more, we're now joined by CNA's Crystal Chia, who's in Shanghai, and Geraldine Yap in Hong Kong. Well, Crystal,
I'm not gonna play no more of this. Let's get to the next one. Well, kicking these niggas' asses.
Marie Curie was the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. Her research in radiology cost...
Ferocious winds, torrential rain, mass evacuations and widespread flooding. Typhoon Dolphin has unleashed its fury on eastern China, but the atmospheric disturbance caused from this storm could have far-reaching consequences, thousands of kilometers away, specifically for India's monsoon. Even as that threat looms, authorities in China are gauging the full scale of the typhoon's destruction. China issued a red typhoon warning after Dolphin made 2 landfalls. Authorities across eastern China raised emergency response levels as floods, landslides and typhoon damage threaten communities. More than 1 million people have been evacuated. Hundreds of flights and trains have been suspended or even cancelled. Authorities have also released water from rivers and reservoirs as water levels continue to rise. Shanghai has taken a direct hit from the torrential rain. Suburban areas and residential compounds have flooded. Metro operations and ferry services have been disrupted. Rescue teams have evacuated residents and pumped out flood water.
It was raining for almost the whole night last night. When I got up today, I found the compound was flooded everywhere. The street is flooded as well. That's basically the situation we see now.
But floodwater is not the only threat. Eyewitness video showed a truck being flipped on its side as heavy rain and powerful winds pounded Wenzhou in eastern Zhejiang province. Winds of up to 151 kilometers per hour were recorded near the typhoon's center when it made landfall in a province around 300 kilometers southwest of Shanghai. Dolphin is the 13th typhoon of this year, and it is the strongest typhoon to hit China this year. More than 900 trees have been damaged in Wenzhou. Dolphin has now weakened to a tropical storm, but the threat is not over. The slow-moving system can still bring prolonged heavy rain, keeping the risk of floods and landslides high. In Hong Kong, the story has been very different, but just as extreme. The typhoon's outer airflow has pushed temperatures to extreme levels. Residents and tourists have been searching for shade and relief. Hong Kong has recorded its hottest days since official meteorological records began in 1884. Temperatures could hit 37 degrees Celsius or higher in some areas.
Alright, let's get to the next one. Droughts.
Being able to change people's lives is really the best part of the job.
Hey, I just want to let y'all know, right where I'm standing, there should be water. I am in the Rocky Mountain National Park. I am standing in the Colorado River right now. What? 40 million people, 7 states.
Damn.
Because this is where the river starts, right where I'm standing, in the Rocky Mountain National Park. In a state with a drought that doesn't even have priority water rights over a river that starts here. The federal government is going to get its hands on it come December. And you're telling me there's enough of this for 40 million people, 7 states, and the billionaires in their data centers? There ain't enough girl math in the fucking world.
You know what? I might have to go ahead and get into scripts because I might forget about this one right here. Let me get some. I might forget. I'll go ahead and start on reading something about this drought. Data centers or whatever, but still, hey, biblically, this is all happening. Isaiah chapter 5. No, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 38. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up, for it is the land of grieving images, and they are mad upon their idols. And this talking about America, Babylon the Great. This is the place where everybody can worship anything. Shit, yeah. You know, graving images of all kind of crap. And the Lord's bringing a drought, major drought today to these people. Yeah. Trying not to say a curse word. Anyway. Let me get another scripture. What was the next I'm supposed to get? Oh. You know what water is? Basic, the basic necessities. And it's the top thing for life, or the chief thing for life. Ecclesiastes chapter 29 verse 21, the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and house to cover shame. But ultimately I wanted to read this part. The chief thing for life is water. And look at this Colorado River looking like a, I don't know what it is, stream? Shit.
To make that make sense. This is life. We cannot live without this. We cannot live without this.
A county can't even live without this. Shit.
And the federal government is
going
going
to county, a small city,
get its hands on this river in December. You want to know why I keep talking about it? Because we cannot live without water, and they don't care about us, and they don't care.
Yeah, there's Esau. He don't care about giving fuck by his own people. But for you Israelites, the Lord can show care for y'all if you seeking the Lord and repenting.
We die.
And she is correct there, and the water is life. At this point, Lake Mead, the nation's largest reservoir by storage capacity, has fallen to its lowest level on record as this drought that's manufactured moves throughout the area, and it looks to stay for quite a while here. Again, all the states that are supposed to be getting water from this spot are in a bad position. I would have a plan, and I'd be looking at this big time in terms of the future, what people are going to do, how you're going to survive this. The water's one thing. Once it gets down to like Hoover Dam and cannot generate electric, you've got no water and no electric for millions of people. But this is a big concern, a big deal, and the water's running dry, man. It's running out, and once it's gone, it's gone. Let me know in the comment section what it's looking like in your neck of the woods. And join me for the
When the water's gone, a lot of people gonna be gone. Be dying from dehydration. Yep. And hey, when that water go drying up, the food ain't gonna be. Hell, you need water to grow your food, process your food, even giving water to your food like your animals. Shit. Anyway, famine too. Yeah, it's gonna be a famine. So let's get to the next one.
We're going to begin, though, with the fast-moving fires in the west. The so-called bug fire is burning in Reno. It's getting dangerously close to homes. In Canada, British Columbia has declared a state of emergency as fires burn near Washington state. People there are on high alert after hundreds of homes were destroyed in Spokane. Jonathan Bigliotti is there covering this for us. Jonathan, good morning. What can you tell us?
And Gail, good morning to you. What's incredible about the fire here in Spokane is the proximity to downtown. We're about a 10-minute drive. This is one of hundreds of homes that were destroyed by last week's fires, with much of the West now bracing for bone-dry conditions. Spokane, an unfortunate example of just how quickly things can turn catastrophic.
More than 40 large wildfires are burning in the West, fueled by a severe drought.
Near Reno, Nevada, the bug fire burned more than...
fueled by severe drought, but how did it start? By severe drought. It started from the sun, the heat from the sun. That's a lie.
15,000 acres, forcing thousands of residents to evacuate over the weekend.
And in Utah, 2 pilots were killed after their helicopter crashed on Friday while fighting the Widemouth 2 fire, which has grown to more than 100,000 acres. In British Columbia, Canada, the Bald Range fire burned out of control, nearly doubling overnight as residents raced out.
I don't know whether my house is gone or still there or not, but that fire came so fast.
More than 20,000 people were ordered to evacuate the area of Summerland, 150 miles east of Vancouver, where officials say some residents had to be rescued.
Aerial response teams were converted to emergency evacuation personnel. 18 of our aircraft were used to rescue more than 50 individuals.
Last week, we saw how quickly conditions like these can explode. 3 fires near Spokane, Washington, destroyed nearly 1,000 structures.
I know I feel kind of more emotional just at seeing it. It didn't seem like it could be real, and it is real.
Some evacuations eased Sunday, but the hardest hit neighborhoods still remain closed.
We are doing everything we can to get you back in your home as soon and as safe as possible. I ask for your grace.
Yeah, they're gonna put these people in a damn smart city. This one's new. See what this is local news. Nah, I ain't gonna play that. It's pretty much showing you the same images.
With us.
And this morning, it is still unclear when residents in those hardest hit neighborhoods like this one will be allowed to return back home. Crews are still monitoring for hotspots and removing hazardous materials, Nate. All right, Jonathan.
So the HSA has now issued an amber heat alert. It is going to be turning exceptionally warm once again as we go through the next few days, meeting heat wave criteria in places. So Just a reminder that this is the heat wave threshold for this time in August. You can see where we've got the yellow colours there, it's 25 degrees, the orange 26, and the red's around 27 or 28 degrees. We need to see these temperatures for at least 3 days in a row for it to be classified as a heat wave, and it certainly looks like some of us will be seeing those kind of temperatures as we go through the next few days. So today wasn't quite as warm as what it was on Sunday, but still our
I don't want to see no meteorologists and all that shit. Let me play this real quick. 30-minute video. There's a video going on in I guess the UK or Europe or England, whatever.
The National Drought Group has declared almost 3/4 of England is now officially in drought, with levels said to be exceptionally low at 5 key reservoirs. Hosepipe bans and other restrictions are being imposed in a desperate attempt to conserve water. Now, the evidence of this unrelentingly hot, dry summer is there for all to see. Rivers running low.
Man, you got all these droughts going on in America, and they building all these data centers. You be like wondering what they gonna do about this. Like I say, you people gonna be shot of luck because they ain't gonna give a fuck about y'all. They gonna feed their damn data centers with water. I don't know how they going with shit. They gonna get it one way or another, but they ain't gonna give that shit to you. Hey man, you Israel better seek the Lord.
And farmland turned to dust bowls, and there is no let up in sight. The summer's 5th heat wave is coming this week, with health alerts upgraded for most of England from tomorrow. We have all the details.
I know she ain't talking about America, but I am. But in England, hey, this same shit happening with y'all. There's gonna be a water rationing. Gonna be a whole lot of things rationed for a lot of people around the world.
We will have the latest from Hampshire and South Wales, where wildfires continue to rage dangerously out of control. And we begin tonight with Olivia Guthrie in West Sussex on the drought crisis. Now, Olivia, these really are extraordinary times, aren't they?
They certainly are, Mary, and West Sussex is now officially in drought after the UK National Drought Group met today and decided to extend that classified area to include 71.3% of England.
All right, man, show what it looked like.
To firefight and try and extinguish the fire is the best help that they can give us.
Part of the Great Fen, Holme Fen is a well-known local attraction run by Natural England and popular with hikers and dog walkers.
Destroyed either side of the A31. 26 fire crews had worked through the night, but one big challenge was getting water to the site. One source was a small lake, the water transported through many kilometres of pipes and hoses.
Oh, yo, I was just thinking about, when was that, a month or maybe 2 months ago? They showed footage of the Everglades, some part of the Everglades on fire. How the hell the Everglades on fire? I don't know. I was just thinking about that shit. I don't know if it still is, but it was I was like, how the hell that shit on fire? No more water.
We expect to be on scene for a number of days. We appreciate it's causing a huge disruption to the local community, but our priority is to protect property, protect life, and clearly the natural environment as well.
The chaos caused by the fire didn't just affect motorists. Some local people were also left stranded, unable to get home last night due to closed roads and congestion.
Because of all the traffic and the fires, I was effectively displaced last night. Couldn't get home. Someone told me the motorway was closed. The other back route was about a 2-hour, chockers and not being able to get back.
There are also concerns here for the local wildlife. The forest is home to a wide variety of rare birds and reptiles. And over the weekend, fire also destroyed 2 bungalows in Holbury. More pressure.
Yeah, they getting plagued too. Yeah, like I said, this is worldwide. Lord kicking everybody's ass. Worldwide. What you Israelites gonna do? We get another one. What is this about? Wildfires too? Oh, it's talking about record heat disrupting the Europe's power and transport. Get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Did you know that once a year, upgrading from this to this?
Get your ass out of here. I hate that nigga right there.
Europe's record heat and droughts are no longer just a climate concern. They're becoming a direct economic cost. Low water levels have disrupted cargo traffic, while more than 6 nuclear generators have reduced or halted output because of cooling problems. Agricultural losses are also mounting. Maize and sunflower yields estimated to have fallen by 6 to 7% by July. Germany alone has reported more than 10,000 heat-related deaths. Allianz estimates the 2-week June heatwave could reduce Europe's GDP by 0.3 percentage points, while ING estimates that the disruption could cut Germany's GDP by another 0.3 percentage points this year. The economic impact is spreading across sectors. Southern Europe faces the biggest risks as extreme temperatures threaten agriculture, tourism and food prices. Economists warn that summer tourism could increasingly shift away from destinations such as Spain and Italy as visitors avoid extreme heat. At the same time, crop failures and disrupted transport are pushing up food and fuel costs. Research shows that extreme heat in 2022 added 0.34 percentage points to Eurozone inflation through higher food prices, while with southern economies hit disproportionately. With Eurozone growth expected at just 1% this year, even a relatively small climate shock can have a significant impact. The costs could continue rising long after the extreme weather passes. Governments face higher spending on firefighting, emergency measures and infrastructure upgrades, while weaker economic activity reduces tax revenues. Allianz estimates annual tax revenue losses could reach 1.8% in France and 1.3% in Italy and Spain as economic output falls.
Countries around the world are facing into another week of soaring temperatures, wildfires and drought as a result of devastating heat waves driven by man-made climate change. Western Europe has had its hottest June to July on record. The European Union's climate change monitoring programme, Copernicus, also says that apart from the polar regions, record high temperatures...
Now, see, when they say man-made climate change, are they talking... Hey, hold on. You know, I don't really give a fuck about all that weather manipulation shit. Because you really don't have that kind of power. I mean, you got the power to do it, but it's really the Lord, man, that's doing all this shit. I just look at it like Esau just got the little Fisher-Price toys hitting buttons and shit, and the lights come on, the lights come on, it makes some noise. I don't think he's really doing it on a large scale with his little fucking rinky-dink technology. It's the angels doing all this. They just got Esau feeling like, yeah, I'm doing something with my weather manipulation shit. Yeah, but it's ultimately the Lord. But anyway.
Have been recorded in the world's oceans in July. Here, drought is due to be declared in more parts of England ahead of the 5th heat wave this year.
But it is, hey man, it's getting severe out here.
Heat health alerts have been upgraded to amber for most of England, with temperatures expected to get to the mid-30s. And across the Atlantic in Canada, a state of emergency is still in place in British Columbia because of wildfires which have doubled in size since they first started at the weekend. On the other side of the world, winds, rain and flooding are causing havoc. Chinese authorities have evacuated more than 1 million people from their homes in eastern China after Typhoon Dolphin made landfall. It's the strongest typhoon to hit China this year, with winds so strong they could flip this lorry on its side.
Well, since that act, or this act, is up, I'm going to say the hell with it. HIV outbreak in Pakistan. I ain't even heard of that. Well, what's the next video? Asia wild, going wild. Oh, the next video about pestilence. So I might as well play. Let's go ahead and play this. This was 2 weeks ago. I'll play this real quick.
Pakistan's healthcare system is facing serious questions again. And once again, the victims are children. More than 130 people, most of them children, have tested HIV positive in connection with an outbreak linked to government-run hospitals in Karachi. Across the country, children keep testing positive for HIV, not through birth, not through their parents, but through the very clinics and hospitals meant to treat them. And this is not a one-off tragedy. It's a pattern that keeps repeating year after year in different
May be an agenda, depopulation.
cities, different hospitals, always with the same root cause.
It was shocking for me. I was astonished at the time that in a small baby, only having history of doctor's practices, why she has got this HIV. So, and after coming to know that she has HIV, I made my practice routine to go for the screening of each and everybody who was having same symptoms.
Once screening starts, the true scale always comes out.
In 2 months, I had found 20 cases, all those who were having the same history, all those who were having the same symptoms, and they all were positive for the HIV.
That is the pattern investigators keep running into. Government inquiries keep pointing to the same failures: poor infection control, careless handling of protective equipment, and single-use syringes that clearly are not being used just once.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
Investigations keep confirming infections in the dozens and child deaths, with medical staff repeatedly named as responsible. And it's never confined to one facility. It surfaces again and again in public hospitals and private clinics alike because the failure behind it is never actually fixed. Families living through this describe the same shock no matter where they are.
I got my daughter tested. They confirmed that she was HIV positive. It could be contagious to all my children. My husband and I are HIV negative, but my daughter has the HIV virus.
That single sentence explains how this virus keeps spreading in Pakistan. Parents test negative, children test positive. That only happens one way, through contaminated medical equipment, not through childbirth. Health officials confirm the same story every time an outbreak gets investigated.
In
the past 9 days, we have tested 4,703 people. Of them, 185 are HIV positive, and the large number are children.
So what's actually driving this nationwide? A healthcare system that keeps cutting corners at every level. Syringes and IV drip sets get reused across public hospitals and private clinics. Health workers puncture the same medicinal vial with the same syringe body over and over, and even with a fresh needle.
Goddamn heathens, goddamn doing stupid shit. Anyway.
That contaminates the vial itself, exposing every patient who gets medicine from it afterward. In under-resourced area...
But somebody spread HIV. I mean, but who the first? I don't. In order to spread well, somebody got. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I had to start off with somehow. But I ain't gonna be trying to figure out. I ain't no investigator, so fuck it. All I can tell you, this shit is the plans of the Lord. Oh yeah, I'm talking about flesh-eating virus. Let me go ahead and get to that. It's in the oceans. Let's get to that next.
For centuries, I have watched from the shadows. And as the kingdom is fragile, my legions...
If you're getting ready for a trip to the beach, we've got one more thing you need to think about, actually worry about. You heard about this so-called flesh-eating...
Oh, man. One more thing to worry about before you go out there and have some fun out there and jumping in that nasty-ass sewage water called the ocean.
Bacteria in the water. Yikes. Officials say it has killed at least 7 people this year along the Gulf Coast. This is serious. This rare bacteria thrives, it seems, in warm seawater. Mark Strassman shows how it spreads and how you can protect yourself.
How?
Summerlin Skipworth was spending her Labor Day weekend last year at Alabama's Orange Beach when she hurt her foot against rocks along the shore.
It felt like it was broken.
Within a few days, Skipworth said the pain spiked, sending her to the emergency room.
It felt like somebody poured gasoline on my foot and lit it on fire.
Skipworth tested positive for Vibrio vulnificus. It's a so-called flesh-eating bacteria lurking in warm coastal waters that can enter the body through open wounds or from eating raw shellfish.
An infection never crossed my mind. I just knew I had pain in my foot.
Hey, you Israelite love eating that shit, shellfish and oyster and this and that. We're gonna fuck your ass up. That's gonna be the next outbreak.
Already this year.
I don't know. Shit, you need to start eating that abominable food. I mean, it ain't clean, but shit, it's best for you to leave it alone and let it do its job. Anyway.
2 people in Florida and 5 in Louisiana have died from the bacteria. Nationwide, the CDC says about 1 in 5 people with the bacteria do die.
With every year now, because of climate change, we're seeing it.
Oh my gosh, because of climate change. No, it's because of Esau Edom. It's because of Esau. Well, ultimately, it's the players of Yahweh Shema Shah. But on a low level, blame it on Esau. Blame it on the so-called white man, because everything's all fucked up. Amalek too. Everything's all fucked up because of Esau, Amalek.
Higher and higher, more northerly latitudes.
Dr. Peter Hotez says people with underlying health conditions should take extra precautions to protect themselves.
If you have those risk factors, and if you have an open wound or abrasion in your skin, you do not want to go swimming in brackish waters along the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic seaboard.
Skipworth had to have an emergency surgery, but was released quickly after the procedure.
I'm just thankful to be here.
Doctors credit her recovery to early detection. For CBS Mornings, I'm Mark Strassman.
Yeah. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. The Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yeah, all these plagues is for the wicked of the people in the world, from the heathens to you 2/3 Israelites. The Lord Yahweh have his way in the whirlwind and the storm and the clouds of the dust of his feet. Let's see. Isaiah chapter 28 verse 2. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashemah shall have a mighty and strong one, which is a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters. One of mighty waters shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Yeah. What else you got? I got one more video I'm going to play, and then I got more scripture to read. Where is it at? Let's get to this one. Oh yeah, because this is almost 2 days from the 12th. Yeah. Talking about the eclipse, solar eclipse supposed to be happening. And it's supposed to be I think it already happened, the planetary alignment.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a...
With that, it's time to wrap this broadcast up. But before we go, let's tell you how day turns into pitch black night this Wednesday as a historic total solar eclipse sweeps across the planet. Scientists prepare for an unprecedented cosmic event, while astrologers warn of dramatic shifts. Nearly 1 billion people could potentially see a partial solar eclipse, with 15 million in its path of totality. Take a look at this with more details. Thank you for joining us at the moment. Bye-bye.
For a few minutes, daylight will collapse into darkness. The sun will turn into a black disk, and around it, a ghostly white crown will suddenly appear.
You're playing that music like it's scary. Oh yeah, well, it's gonna be scary for a lot of these heathens and these 2/3 Israelites.
This is
gonna have the 1/3 of the elect, or the healthy elect to be of the elect, a little shooken. What's going to be happening here on earth, but we pray the Lord give us strength to get through it.
the solar corona, the sun's vast outer atmosphere. Normally, it is almost impossible to see because the brilliant surface of the sun overwhelms it. But during totality, the moon blocks that surface almost perfectly, and that changes everything. On August 12th, the corona could reveal something nobody has ever seen in exactly the same form before. Not because scientists have never seen the corona, but because the corona itself is constantly changing. It is shaped by the sun's magnetic field, and that magnetic field is never still. Every eclipse therefore captures a unique moment in the life of our star.
So when we have that moment of totality of the moon directly in front of the sun, it reveals the sun's outer wispy atmosphere called the corona, something that's still quite mysterious to astronomers, so we can study it during that moment. So it's actually incredibly useful as well.
The total eclipse will cross parts of Greenland, Iceland, Spain, northern Russia, and a small part of Portugal. Millions more across Europe and beyond will see a partial eclipse. In Britain and Ireland, the moon will cover roughly 90 to 96% of the sun, with the best views towards the southwest. Eclipse fever is building in Madrid, where residents and visitors are scrambled.
Oh man, they like, I can't wait to see it. Oh, I gotta buy my trays, and I gotta buy this, and I gotta buy that. Bruh. Why, it's not much of a big deal. It's just signs from the heavens that's showing you this place is. The Lord, I don't know how to say it, but the best way to say it, the most clean way to say it, the Lord about to jack this place up. I mean, I think that's the best way to say it.
To get their hands on protective glasses.
It has been a dream for me to see the real one with a sunny day. And this year it will be a solar eclipse during the sunset. So I guess it will be more romantic with all the sunset.
Oh, romantic. She looking to go smoochy smoochy with her baby. It feels so romantic. Shit. The fuck out of here. Alright, I'm done with this video. Luke chapter 21. Verse, no, do I need to read this? No, let me wait. hold on. I'm gonna get to this last. I'm gonna read this one. Let me see if I can find it. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, house of Israel. Talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Spanish, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled bird Israelites. I look like her. But anyway, thou said the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. Don't follow their ways. They don't follow and worship their idols, their punk ass gods, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. So don't be all bad, gotta gawk and look and stargaze and do all that goofy shit, getting your shades. I mean, nothing wrong with looking at it, and then after you done. Just look at it for about 5 seconds, like ooh, okay, I'm good, I'm done. A lot of these people gonna be trying to make money off this shit, trying to profit off of the clips. All kind of stuff. They ain't even like, what is this necessary? Is this? It's nothing. It's anyway. For the heathen are dismayed at them. And this is about all these signs being shown. It's showing you we're closer at the end. The Lord keeps showing you things and omens and stuff. Things that's so much happening on the earth, showing you we closer and closer to the end. You know, measure the times diligently. It's a lot of things that just keep coming and coming and coming. And it ain't gonna stop. The Lord ain't gonna make it stop until Yahweh Shah returns and gathers his elect. Yeah, but these plagues just keep on going. Let me get to that scripture I said I was gonna get to earlier. I don't know why I moved that away. After I get the last one, I'm gonna close it out. I got you, bro. This dog here want a damn treat. Shit. Luke chapter 21, verse 10. Thou said the Lord Yahweh. No, what I'm saying, then said he unto him, nation shall. What the hell wrong with you? Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. You got wars, World War I, World War II, or no, World War III, I meant to say. World War III, and class wars, civil wars, race wars. And great earthquakes shall there be in diverse places. Hey, well, you just got one in Colombia. And shit, the numbers there might be maybe 1,000, maybe. I don't know. We haven't really seen. It's not like it was Venezuela, because there was enough butt buildings falling down that bitch. But anyway, and famines, lack of bread, and pestilence. You got the flesh-eating virus. What else in the ocean? What other viruses? Oh yeah, HIV. Yeah, the little kids over there in Pakistan getting infected by HIV. Yeah. And fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. And yeah, everything on earth is a great sign, but what's going on up in the heavens, like this solar eclipse, that's part of the great signs too. And the best thing you need to do is seek the Lord before things get too rough and too bad out here. I don't know the best way to say it. All I can tell you is seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed to what to say. And try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah. I don't know, why is this open? I'm not trying to watch no movie. But anyway, seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what it say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting of Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth, in the name, spirit, and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.